Hello everyone, I am Professor Nayanasini from Department of Information Technology, Paritvaik Bamute College of Engineering, Bagoli. In the last session, we have seen the specialized process models and the clean room software engineering and its processes. So in this session, we are going to see the SQA, that is Software Quality Assurance. So it is a planned and systematic method for evaluation of quality of software product, standards, processes and procedures. It assures that the standards and procedures once established are followed throughout the software development lifecycle. The evaluation of compliance with these standards and the procedures is done by continuous monitoring throughout the development process, the product evaluation, and by conducting the audits. The standards and the procedures actually establish the method for developing a software application. The role of SQA is to provide the assurance of their existence and accuracy. So the documentation of the standard and the procedure is also very important, since all the SQA activity rely on the definition of the project compliance. Following are some important activities of the SQA, that is continuous monitoring, product evaluation and auditing. Then there are three types of standards which the SQA provides. The first is the document standard, design standard and the code standard. So the document standard established under the SQA defines the proper content for planning and control. This documentation standard provides the consistency throughout the development of the life cycle of the project. Then similarly, the design standards define the proper form and the content of the design product. This standard provides the rule book for the corresponding methods for translating the software requirement specification into the actual product design. And the code standard specifies the programming language in which the source code has to be written. The code standard also specifies the various constraints that should be put for the uses of the language features, then the restrictions, the limitation of the language, the data structures, the pattern, the rule, then the internal code documentation. The procedure must follow throughout this standard throughout the development process. Then there are some examples of the process of which the procedures are needed. So first is the configuration management, then there is a non-conference reports, that is any development process not following the SQA standard properly, then the corrective actions, testing and formal inspections, and etc. etc. All the standards should be documented properly as per the standards and the guidelines in the procedure specification. So SQA must follow these three types of standards which are given for the quality of the software. Then there is, before proceeding to SQA plan, there is a small topic called as a verification and validation monitoring. So SQA activities ensure the verification and validation activities by three parameters. The first is the formal technical review, the second is time-to-time inspection, and the third is walkthrough. The SQA roles are observed in above three parameters. So the SQA verifies that any action required is assigned properly and related to the document are maintained and updated properly. The formal technical reviews are carried out at the end of every life cycle phases of the software. By doing this, the problem will be detected and corrected in the software development process, and also the requirements are checked whether the specified requirements matches with the actual requirement. The second is the inspection. Inspection is done throughout from first line to last line of the code by any software engineer or the senior software engineer. We can say the senior software engineer. An inspection or the walkthrough are detailed testing of the product by using the step-by-step process, and each line of code are translated to uncover any possible error. The SQL activities ensure the entire process is properly completed or not. The inspection process is usually following the compliances to the standards and etc. So these are three parameters from which the verification and validation is done. Then we'll move to the point called as the SQA plans. SQA plans is nothing but the template for quality assurance. So it provides a clear idea of producing the quality product. It is nothing but the backbone of the software quality assurance activities. The There are various sections under the SQA plans. So different sections here I have mentioned. First is the documentation section. Second is the standard practices and conventional section. Third is the review and audit section. Fourth is the testing section, and fifth is the management section. So the documents section illustrate the work product, and it consists of the project document like plan of the project, then various models like entity relationship diagrams and different classes, then technical document like test plan, test specification plan, etc., and the user manual for helping the user in operating the product, or we can say the help file or the manual which comes with the product. So the standard and the practices convention section describes the standard list and the list of practices used in the development process. That is nothing but your coding standard, that which programming language is used in the development phase. Then the documentation standard, that consists of some rules, protocols, or the requirement specification, and the guidelines. Third is the review guideline. Then the review and audit section provides the reviews and audit to be conducted by the software development team or any stakeholder of the project. Now there is a definition of stakeholder. Who are actually the stakeholder? It may be some internal peoples or some external, which we can say the developers, the users who actually use the product, your senior manager, your help desk managers, your human resource manager, and any person who actually takes the product into the use, or who are really affected by the product or related to the product, are the stakeholders. So this section provides the overview of the approach for all reviews and audit. Then there is a test section, fourth one. So test section uses all the possible test techniques and the test procedures overall to uncover the errors, and necessary corrective actions are to be taken. Then there is a fifth management section. So the management section uses the various tools and methods that support the assurance activity and the tasks which are listed in SQA standards. So these 5 sessions are included in your SQM plan. So whenever you are preparing a plan for your software documentation, which maintains the software quality assurance, so it needs the following section to be maintained. Then we have different framework, quality framework for the SQA. The first is McCall's quality factor. So in diploma also, if you are a diploma candidate, you have gone through the diagram of this McCall's. It contains the different characteristics. The McCall's quality factor depend on the different characteristics. Some are the operational characteristics, some are the undergoing changes, and the adaptability of the new environment and all. So we are going to see the one by one these characteristics. So the first one is the correctness. Correctness is nothing but the quality factor that assesses the software for its correct functioning according to the specification and the customer requirement. The second is the reliability. It is the quality attribute that evaluates the software for its working according to the desired precision. Then the usability. It is as the degree to which the application software is easy to use. Then next is the efficiency. It is defined as the amount of various resources that are required to execute the program. Then next is the maintainability. It is defined as the effort needed to uncover the errors and the problems in the functioning of the program that needs to be resolved. Then next is the integrity. The integrity of the system is defined as the effort taken to manage the access authorization, or integrity of the system can be ensured by controlling all the access to it. Then next is the flexibility. The flexibility means the easy with which a program can be modified or extended in future with different functionality as the technology changes, so the program can be changed. So next is the testability. It is nothing but the amount of time and the efforts which are needed to test the program. Then next is the portability, which is nothing but shifting a program from one environment to another. So the program should be portable and can be run on the different platform. So, and then last one is the next one is the reusability. That means how the existing code can be reused in the future development according to the scope of the project. And the last one is the interoperability. That is ability to connect one system to the another. So by this different quality factors, the McCall's quality factor framework has been built. He checks the quality of the software by different characteristics that are mentioned here. So the next one is CMM model. CMM model is nothing but the capability maturity model, which is defined by SEI, that is nothing but the Software Engineering Institute. It is the meta model, which is developed by the Software Engineering Institute. It defines the process characteristics that should be exist if an organization want to establish a software process that is complete. So the spirit of the SEI capability maturity model should have been adopted, and it argues to the software development that it must be taken seriously, it must be thoroughly, then it must control uniformly, then it must be tracked accurately, and it must be conducted professionally, then it must focus on the needs of its customer. So if any organization want to build a software development, or any organization want the software development, it should have some rules and protocols which are defined by the CMM, that is a capability maturity model. So it is again divided, or it has the two types. First is the continuous and second is the stage. In continuous model, it has described the two dimensional. First, the project planning and the requirement management. It has the different level. The first level 0 is incomplete, second is initial, means level 1 is initial, level 2 is managed, or we can say the repeatable, third is defined, fourth is quantitatively managed, and fifth is the optimized. So we can see the characteristics of the maturity level. We have seen the diagram. So the initial level, first, that is the level 1, it is nothing but the process unpredictable, poorly controlled, and relative. We can see, you can have the brief idea by the next diagram, but let's see first this. The level 2 is the managed. It is nothing but the process characteristics of the project is often reactive. Then third, process characteristics characterized for the organization is proactive. Then level 4 is quantitative managed, that is the process measured are controlled. And level 5 is optimized, that is focus on the process improvement. You can have the deep idea in this diagram. So at the maturity level 1, the process is given as the rough. It doesn't have any structure or anything. Maturity 2, it has certain input and output and internal processing. So maturity 3 will have the internal structures in each module. So maturity 4 will have internal structure with some external interfaces, and maturity 5 will have overall throughout the structure which defines the internal as well as external interfaces, and then the process is built. So here we have finished the unit 1. There may be a small topics which are remaining, or might be not. Some little bit can be there. So in this with this slide I can conclude the unit 1. If you have any doubt, you find any topic which is uncovered, you can just tell me. You can send me a comment section, or you can just WhatsApp me. Here are some important questions from the unit 1 which are asked in a university examination. So I have listed some of them here. So it's your duty to read the questions and to try to find the answers, and the assignment 1 will be based on these 8 questions. So you have the assignment 1, which will be having the 8 questions with the answer. You have to submit within a week. I will give the deadlines on your WhatsApp group. So I can conclude the unit 1. From next session we will start with unit 2. So thank you.